Morning guys, Tom Greenwood here. This is my YouTube channel. Let's see if I can get this a little bit better. Hey, how's it going? Alright, so here is companion to body, mind, thought integration. And in that one I was talking about thoughts and how they're real and internal in the human being, and how there's integration between the thoughts and emotions and the body and the brain, and how it's all kind of a integrated system. And I said I would talk about a thing that relates to that, which is there's an integrated system between the thoughts and emotions and the human being, and then their actions in the world, and then the world's actions on them, and then that system. So they're not independent of each other. The human body and the world are integrated, and the thoughts are integrated between the world and the human. So if we look at a human being that's either had a real bad accident where they're brain dead, or they're born where their brains become really defective or doesn't function at all. I don't know about you, but a lot of people would say, like, is that really a human? They would ask the question, is that really a human? And when they look at them, they would say, no, that's not really a human. Whenever the spark in them goes away, the human goes away. The body might be there, but the whatever was me, if I had an accident today and I was brain dead in a coma, that thing which is me is gone. In a certain sense, the thoughts, feelings, and emotions that are me are are even more me than me. And so no thoughts, no human. No emotions, no human. Just they're gone. Whatever's in them is gone. So I talk about efficiency. I think about efficiency and how to become more efficient in my life, and I fail at it, but I like to think about this idea of a trim tab. And trim tab, you see them used in airplanes, but I think of them more in boats, because that's where I came across the idea. And what a trim tab does, I was wrong and I looked it up. What a trim tab does is it's like a little rudder that's on the rudder of a big ship. So what the trim tab does is they activate the trim tab, and it makes it easier to turn the rudder, which makes it turn the ship. So the trim tab's this little rudder on a rudder. It turns, and then when the trim tab activates, it makes the rudder easy to turn, and then the rudder makes the boat turn. Okay, so the trim tab doesn't steer the boat. The rudder steers the boat, but the trim tab steers the rudder. So in a way, I don't know. Anyway, it's a thing that I think about, and I think that our ideas are like that. So trim tab and human beings and thoughts. Thoughts really and emotions. Thoughts and emotions activate the human being. They start to turn the human being, which in turn they start to turn our thoughts and our emotions, which in turn that's a bad turn phrase, but whatever. They cause us to move and act on the world, to actualize the world. So the thoughts and emotions move us. We begin to move the world. These thoughts cause the world to become more actualized. They make everything from a pen like this to something like the Panama Canal or landing on the moon. None of these things would happen naturally in the course of the universe by quote-unquote natural means, but a human being had a thought. They began to act. That action changed the real environment. In a certain way, that thought is very much real. It's definitely real. The thing that it created is certainly real and visible to everyone. Plato wrote a book called The Republic, and in it there's this guy Socrates, and Socrates is this question-asking guy, and he asks a lot of really good questions. But one of the things that's talked about is the allegory of the cave, and I'm not going to go into a great deal of information about the allegory of the cave, but there's the allegory of the cave, and then there's this idea of the chair. And is the idea of a chair more real than a chair? And I used to say, no, the chair is more real because you can't sit on the idea. But I've stepped back from that, and I believe that the idea is more real than the chair, because before the idea of a chair, there was no chair. Before the idea of a thing exists, there is no thing. Humans make nothing before the idea of the thing. So nothing comes before the idea. The idea is first. Okay, there are examples of accidents that happen in industrial situations. that where something is created as an accident, but it did not exist before the idea of this other thing. It's a discovery that came like after the idea of, I'm going to try and make a chair. Oh, accidentally I made a table. The table didn't come before the idea of the chair. So the idea is first, and then everything comes from the idea. So ideas are real, and ideas are even more real in the sense that ideas can extend past life. Like I can have a thought or an idea that causes me to move, and I create something or act on something in the world, and then I die, I go away. But that idea stays. That idea exists, can exist long past my lifetime. The classic example is religion, but also philosophy. I talked about the Republic. These ideas extend far beyond the human, and in a sense, they become super real. You know what I mean? In a way, the idea is super real. It is on a level of existence that transcends me, is capable of going to other human beings, is being transmitted and going other places. And I, like the host or the original idea haver, I can die. Something can happen to me, but that idea can live on. And that is, it's amazing, because what has happened is the idea has taken on a life of its own. And this like ties to my, you're a meme slave idea, but ideas are super real. You know what I mean? Once they become real in a human being, and then they come out of the human being, and then they go out into the world, they become super real. The Pythagorean theorem, like we know who Pythagoras is because of his idea. You know what I mean? He's dead a long, long time. But the a squared plus b squared equals c squared allows us humans to travel, to build houses, and to travel off the planet because of that idea. And that stuff has lived past him. You know, it's more real than him in a certain way. It's, yeah, that's my thoughts about how thoughts are more real than me, or how thoughts are very real, at least as real as me. Know these videos, last couple of videos are a little bit long, but the information in them, the ideas in them are not easily unpacked in under 5 minutes. I try and keep these videos short, but they don't always stay that way, as you can see. Yeah, time for my closing. As always, if you like this stuff, turn somebody onto it. Share it with people. If you want to hear more about an idea, you want me to unpack something, or you want to hear my take on something, get a hold of me. I'd be more than happy to sit down and explore an idea. If you have time and you're around, I would love to sit down with you and talk, have a cup of coffee, go on a walk, whatever suits your fancy. As always, I hope these ideas come to you and help you, that they find you in a good place, and help you to become a better person and do better things in the world. And as always, it's good talking to you. I'll see you later. Bye.